Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amelia and I post new videos every Sunday and Wednesday evening. Today's video, we are going to be talking about the very viral Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Skin Tint. So I did a 2-day wear test, did like first impressions and then check-ins throughout the 2 days, so those will be like interspersed between here. I have run out of like my typical summer foundation and was kind of looking for something else to try. This has been like all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over YouTube. I was like, you know what, I've never tried a Fenty Beauty foundation. Let me try it. Everyone's skin who I've seen looks like absolutely just glowy and gorgeous, and I was like, yeah, that's how I want my skin to look. So of course I tried to get it during the Sephora VIP sale and it was sold out, but I did find it on Fenty's actual website, so I purchased it from there. I got shade number 2. I think it might just be like the tiniest bit too light. I feel like 3 might be perfect for the summertime, but you know, for the winter I think it actually matches pretty well. And then this is the tube. This is what it looks like. It's like a cute dimensional shape. It has over 1 ounce in it, which I feel is pretty typical for foundations, and it costs $29. So we will go into the full wear test now. So as you can see here, I'm just placing it on the back of my hand to dip my brush in. When I first put it on, I was like, ooh, is this way too light? You can see me kind of wince, but it actually turns out to be a pretty good match for my skin tone. I did feel I had to go in multiple times and squeeze multiple drops out of this, which I think was like the first thing that shocked me. I thought a little would go a longer way. Okay, so this is just my skin with moisturizer, you know, like my normal skincare and the skin tint. I haven't put any concealer on or anything, and I don't know, it's getting caught in some dry patches on my chin, a little bit around my mouth, and then also in like this area here. It's always a struggle for me when that like happens, because part of me is like, well, you know, those parts of my face are just drier, because that's kind of where I concentrate most of like my spot acne treatment, so I get it. But it's also, it is kind of disappointing when I see that it catches on the dry spots. You know, I definitely feel it's like evened out my skin tone. I mean, you can still see a little redness just around my nose. It does have like a nice sheen to it. Hopefully the sheen isn't like so crazy by the end of the day, but yeah, right now it is 9:47 and I'll just like keep checking back in throughout the day. All right, so it is now 1 p.m. so it's been about 3 hours since I've had the skin tint on. After that initial image or video, I put on concealer, powder, bronzer, and blush, you know, eyebrows, mascara, like I normally do. So it's starting to just like completely shift away from any sort of like real problem spot I have. And up here you can even see that it's made glasses marks, which is, I mean, pretty typical for a foundation, especially one that's more probably like dewy and, I don't want to say oily, meaning like it's an oil, but I don't know, just like more liquidy. And I just wanted to do it in the car just to kind of see what it looks like in the sun. So I actually don't hate the finish. I don't feel I look overly oily. This is probably how I look on like an everyday basis, but I definitely feel like there's something on my skin and I could just like wipe my finger across and it would just like all come off. I feel especially in my forehead that like when I scrunch and like do all this stuff that it's just like not sitting properly, but I don't really think that is the issue. I mean, I have a few lines here, again, not like terrible. It is kind of only been 3 hours, so I'm kind of like, okay, it's It hasn't even been like a full day and it's like this. I don't know. I'm definitely going to do a whole other full day just because I feel my skin barrier was like really bad today. I don't know what happened yesterday. I like went to wipe my face after working out and it just started to like sting really bad, and then I was like, oh no, like it'll be fine. And I still put like my retinol on at night, which I really shouldn't have done. So I just think my skin's a little sensitive right now, so I won't put the retinol tonight, and then I'll try again tomorrow. Okay, so it is currently 4:24. I'm about to take my makeup off so I can go work out, and this is what it looks like. I did pick this zit. You can see it's breaking apart in here, and I can just like kind of wipe it off. My face does, it just feels like there's makeup on it. No, I feel like it's kind of worn off by now, so it's been what, like 7-ish hours, which I mean is a pretty, I guess, decent run time for foundation. How long can foundation really last? And I do have oily skin, so of course it's going to break it down faster, but I don't know. I haven't really decided how I feel yet. Definitely going to do another wear test tomorrow. Okay, so it is the next day and I am trying the Fenty skin tint. Once again, I definitely feel it has settled just a bit better on my skin than yesterday. There is still some just like separation. My forehead, I don't know if we'll really be able to see. I can kind of see here a little bit around my mouth. That happened even before I put powder on. I did not use any retin-A last night. I just used a very hydrating moisturizer. Used another hydrating moisturizer again today just to hopefully like give it the best shot there is. It's a little better than it was. I'll do a few more check-ins and then we can just wrap this video up. Okay, it is currently 6:20. I put this foundation on at about 10. So it's been 8 hours now of wearing it. I'm just standing in front of the door. So it's definitely, you know, worn a bit more like around my mouth and my chin. I think my cheeks, which are like my least problematic area, have held up pretty nicely. I definitely think it worked better today than it did yesterday, and I think that's just primarily because my skin was so irritated yesterday, and it just does cling to kind of any problem area that is, but I surprisingly don't feel like it's made my skin any more oily or shiny than it normally is at the end of the day wearing foundation. So I'm actually pretty surprised, but we will go to my final review now. Okay, so you just obviously saw me do the full day wear test and give like little updates here and there. I am actually wearing the foundation right now, and this time I tried it with my Tatcha primer just to see if that helped at all with the peeling, and a little bit. I'd still say it's getting caught on my forehead and the just dry acne patches I have. It's getting caught there, so I don't really feel like the foundation has, or the primer has done like that much to help with it. Don't get me wrong, I think my skin under these beauty lights like looks nice, and even in real life without this, I still think my skin overall looks good. It doesn't make my skin look absolutely disgusting, but I think seeing everyone else's reviews and their pictures of themselves just looking so glowy and beautiful that it kind of just bums me out, I guess, that I didn't have that. And it's $29, which is on the expensive end for a foundation, especially when I feel it's no better than my CoverGirl Skin Milk. I will continue to use this up and hopefully my skin heals more and it will just settle better. But even on the areas where there really isn't any problem or dryness, which is mostly like kind of like this center portion of my face, I still don't feel it gave me that look that I was looking for. So I think my overall reaction is just kind of like disappointment, really. It's fine. I think if you have normal skin, like normal skin, not dry, not superly oily, no problems with like texture or patches or acne, I think this is gonna look amazing on you. But if you have dry skin, texture, skin, dry patches, I think it just really clings to those areas and doesn't create a nice smooth look that some foundations, even skin tints, just kind of will even everything out and not stick so much or break apart. I'm still on the fence on, like, let's say you just had oily skin with like no acne or anything. I think you might be fine, but my other problem with it, as I mentioned, was that it felt like I was wearing makeup, especially in my forehead, which is where I feel like I get like a lot of oiliness. So kind of throughout the day, it just felt like there was that like the barrier almost between like my skin and the foundation. It just never settled and always felt like there was something there, which is pretty annoying throughout the whole day to just constantly feel like you're wearing makeup. For $29, I just wanted to work better than a drugstore, and I think that's a reasonable ask. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. If this worked for you, like, please leave in the comments below how it worked for you. If you're doing something different than I'm doing, I'm using a brush, I've used a sponge, I've used my fingers, I've used a primer, no primer, like what? I don't know what I'm doing. It's just not everything is gonna work like amazing for your skin type, and that's just the fact of life. Okay, I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.